Hello, good morning, happy Saturday. I think I'm streaming live. Hopefully I'm streaming on Instagram as well, but I never know how to tell. So if you're joining me on Instagram, hello and welcome. And I know that my face on Instagram, it's a much more of a close-up situation. So hello and welcome to everyone. Happy Saturday. Um, I'm just gonna check and make sure that I'm here, and I am um, in all the places. Good. Okay. So today I want to talk about, I'm going to give you guys 3 tips that I use personally in my life to really, really take control of and manage my own energy and remain sovereign in every now moment, no matter what is going on around me. And that doesn't mean that I'm unaffected by what's going on around me, but it means that I'm able to maintain myself, even when it seems like the world around me is completely falling apart. Whether that is in, a situation in my personal life, a situation in my business, a situation in relationships, or the global human collective chaotic times that we are in. So let me know if um, you're feeling the chaos. Right now we've been in this chaos and this uncertainty and what people were referring to as unprecedented times. And now that's become such an overused term because we've been in this energy for so long that we're not even, it doesn't even feel true anymore. Unprecedented. It feels almost normal to be in this chaos now. Um, and then everybody individually has their own personal stuff going on. There's a lot of people I know who are having a lot of health crisis going on. So many relationships have ended over the last 2 years. There's been a huge recalibration of relationship energy that's still happening on this planet. And many relationships have ended. Romantic partnerships, marriages, families broken apart, friendships have ended, business relationships have ended. The overall theme of 2021 is a largely relationship. And so, that's been a lot of chaos for a lot of people. People have, we're in a global health crisis. People are having health crises related to the global energy that we're dealing with, but then also, unrelated seemingly to this. So a lot of people are in physical crisis, physical chaos. And then all of that, the overload of information, trying to sort through what's actually true, what's actually accurate from the flood of information from all sides that we're getting, and having to sort through so much information to really discern what's true or what we hold as truth for us. So that's creating a mental overwhelm and mental chaos, and really, for some people, a mental and emotional crisis, a mental health crisis. So I'd love to hear from all of you where you're feeling, where you're at. Hello, Chris. I'm going to try to find this. I always have a hard time looking at. I'm streaming in 4 different places. I don't think it's worked on Instagram. Hi, Pat. Hi, Melissa. And it's always this trouble for me to find my own live stream in my own group. I don't know why, but that's been a trouble lately. But it's right there, right on top. Good. Janie, I feel like my whole life is in chaos. I can relate to that. So I've gone through many different phases of my life that felt like complete and utter chaos. In fact, I was just talking to somebody before I hopped on here about a few years ago. I was working with a healing modality that I don't work with anymore, that I've completely disconnected from. But that energy, just of that healing modality, threw my life into complete chaos. And that's actually part of where Sacred Soul Alignment was born, because I wanted to create something for people that they could have deep, profound, incredible transformations without their lives and their bodies and their relationships having to fall apart. And the number one thing that I hear from people when they're describing me and my energy and the energy of Sacred Soul Alignment, number one for Sacred Soul Alignment is, this changed my life. I have heard that so many times, over and over and over, dozens of times, but also that the energies are so grounding and so calm and so peaceful. And that's what I want to pass on to the world, is more, things that create more peace, not more chaos, that are grounding us, that are allowing us to really be here in this human experience that we've all signed up for. We all chose to come here in this time, on a soul level, knowing what was happening, knowing what we were signing up for. And so we all have the ability to navigate that. It's just that sometimes there's so much noise, or we're holding on to so much trauma that we feel like we can't navigate. We feel like we have no control over our own lives. I've definitely felt like that in the past, and I know a lot of people are feeling like that now. So number one, what I want to give you for anybody is 3 tips that I personally do in my own life every day to help you feel more calm in every now moment. And when you add these 3 things in with Sacred Soul alignments, that will take you out of the stratosphere of being able to navigate whatever comes your way. So first, let me talk about these 3 things, but I don't want to tease you guys too long with that. So the first thing is to start your day the night before. This is really important, and this only takes maybe 3 to 5 minutes of your time, but it will change everything. So the first step is to, and I talk about this a lot, I really cannot emphasize this enough, but the first step is to disconnect from the collective. So we're moving through life, having interactions with people throughout our day, at our job, with our families, at the grocery store. Maybe, I don't, but maybe we're watching the news. That can really hook in all the chaos from the collective if we're watching the news. We might have an interaction with somebody at the grocery store who's having a bad day. People's energies, the collective energies, the energies on the planet are hooking in to us and to our energy field for most of us. Even if we have protection around us, I have so much protection around me that I don't really take on into my energy, into my body, other people's energy very often anymore, but people's energy can still, sorry, my necklace is choking me, can still hook into our energy field. And so disconnecting just through our intention, disconnecting from the collective, the energy of the collective, can make a huge difference. If you're having sleep issues, if you're feeling overloaded, that can make a big difference. So just through your intention, just saying, sorry, I'm distracted by my necklace. Just saying, I disconnect now from the energy of the collective. You can ask your higher self, your divine aspect, God, source, creator, your guides, Archangel Michael, but really it's all about intention, and we have the power to control our own energy field. So just setting the intention to disconnect from the collective really is all you need to do. Step 2, write down how you want to feel when you wake up. It can just be one word, it can be a paragraph, it can be a sentence. I usually use one or two words. So when I wake up in the morning, I want to feel peaceful. When I wake up in the morning, I want to feel grounded. I want to feel supported. I want to feel loved. I want to feel healthy, vibrant, whatever it is. And I recommend not going with too many things, one or two things, and you can write it out just in a word or in a sentence. And then the third thing to start your day the night before is gratitude. How often do we hear people talk about gratitude? Gratitude journals, gratitude practices. It's talked about all the time, but I don't think very many of us are actually doing it. And it does not take a lot. And I, for some reason, get out of this practice. This is the practice that I probably get out of the easiest for some reason. And maybe it's because it is such a powerful practice. But it's so simple. So all you need to do is to write down on a slip of paper, on a receipt that's by your side of the bed. It doesn't have to be like some fancy journal. It could be a slip of paper that maybe you're going to throw away the next day. And I really, really highly recommend writing these things on paper, not in a note on your phone, unless that's going to stop you from doing it. If you don't have paper around you and you have your phone and you want to make a note, then do that. But the best option is to write it down on pen to paper. So write down 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. Sometimes it's hard to find something that we're grateful for. Sometimes it might just be that we are in a warm house, in a warm, comfortable bed, that we had food that day, that we're still breathing. Sometimes it could be something really amazing. Maybe we had an amazing experience with our family that day. Maybe we made an amazing soul connection. Maybe we had a huge business win. Maybe we got some good news from a healthcare provider. It could be anything, really. Maybe it's that, maybe you're grateful for your pets, for your children. There's an infinite amount of things that we can be grateful for when we are looking for something to be grateful for. And it has been proven in studies that people that have a regular gratitude practice, and something as simple as this, that can literally take you 2 minutes a day, that a regular gratitude practice increases our happiness quotient by as much as doubling our income. Most people probably couldn't double their income in 2 minutes a day. Although with a regular gratitude practice, you're raising your vibration a lot, and that's going to attract more abundance to you. That's going to attract more love to you. That's going to attract more things to be grateful for. So as I'm talking, I'm telling myself, I really need to make this a priority when I let it drop away. So again, the number one tip number 1, start your day the night before by disconnecting from the collective consciousness, writing down how you want to feel when you wake up, and 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. Tip number 2, when you wake up in the morning, first thing, before you get out of bed, feel into your own source connection. We're always, only, ever connected to source. But most people, the majority of people, go about their day, and a lot of times their whole entire life, not being consciously connected to source, not being consciously aware of their source connection. So using your intention, if you don't know what this feels like, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. Feel into my own source connection. What is that? What does that mean? What does that feel like? Your soul knows. And so all you have to do is just set the intention. I will live today connected and feeling the connection to my own source connection. And if you want to take it a step farther, connect heart to heart and consciousness to consciousness with your own divine aspect, the higher aspect of you. So you can really take this a little bit farther even and maybe spend 3 minutes, which will change your whole day. Really getting connected to your heart just by placing your focus and awareness on your heart, breathing through your heart, and then feeling or bringing your awareness to the connection between your heart and the heart of Gaia, which we all have. We live here on this planet. And the connection between your heart and the heart of creation, or otherwise known as your own source connection. And then feeling into the connection between your human self and your divine self. This is a condensed version of the Heart of Creation connection, which I pass on to my Sacred Soul Alignment practitioners. It's the cornerstone, the foundation of everything that we do. And in fact, if you missed my announcement or my email yesterday or the day before, days are time is weird right now, but just within the last few hours, 24 to 36 hours, I sent out an email and I posted in my Facebook group a link to get the first module of Sacred Soul Alignment certification for free. So in this module, I teach you about the Heart of Creation connection. I give you the meditation to experience, 2 versions of it. And then I also give my first of 10 intuition building exercises. And in fact, I've kind of been blown away. This intuition building exercise is brand new. And I released it to my practitioners before I put it up in this free module. And the feedback I've gotten on that is kind of blowing my mind. People are telling me, I've had multiple people tell me that it's one of the most powerful healing experiences they've ever had. And it wasn't meant to be a healing experience. It's meant to be an experience of feeling different frequencies. So I found that fascinating. And then in that module, you also get access to an hour-long healing call that I did for my practitioners when I lived in Maui. Very powerful. The golden white flame activation for wealth. And then you get to see my entire support library of 30 recordings that I pass on to my practitioners in this class. And you get access to that for 7 days. So if you want to kind of check out the modality, that's a really good way. I lost my train of thought. Oh, yes. I'm not attuning you to any of the alignments in this module. That comes in module 2, but you get a really good idea of what's happening in the class, and you get some, even if you don't want to take the class or aren't even thinking about the certification, module 1, the lessons in there are really important and foundational lessons for living, really, for everyone. So I invite you to go look at your email for your email. I think it came out on Thursday, actually. If you get my emails, or go look for the link in my Facebook group, Sacred Soul Alignment with Alicia Hartzell. Okay, so when you wake up, that's the second tip. Getting really connected, getting connected to your divine aspect, really bringing the conscious awareness of your own source connection front and center so that you can go about the rest of your day from within that connection. That will change everything. These 2 tips alone will change everything. And then if you're a Sacred Soul Alignment practitioner, there's multiple alignments that you can run to support both of those things. Both the disconnecting from the collective, we have alignments to clear our energies. The gratitude, really anchoring that in, bringing in, we have an alignment called the highest intention. So you can bring that in to how you want to feel then when you wake up, and that will amplify everything. And you can also bring in alignments that are supporting how you want to feel. So there's just so much that we can do with the tools from Sacred Soul Alignment. And then waking up, you could take yourself through the 8-minute recording of the Heart of Creation connection and really start your day out just super grounded and connected, and move about your entire day. And then you can also bring in alignments into your energy field for how you want to feel as you move about your day. If you know you're going to be facing, some situation later in the day, you can bring in alignments that are going to be running ahead of you to help to amplify your intentions for whatever that situation may be. And there's an infinite number of things that we could be dealing with in a day, but we can actually send energy ahead of ourselves to set up the energy for us. We can, if we're feeling anxious, there's alignments that we can run to calm ourselves down. I use this many times throughout the day. So if I'm feeling anxious, I'll run the nervous system and the rose alignment together. It literally instantly calms me down. So as far as things that you can use beyond these tips I'm talking about with the sacred soul alignment tools, it's really infinite, the combinations of energies that we can run and the ways that we can use these energies. And then my third tip is breath. So if you are in a situation that's creating anxiety, that's creating overwhelm, well, first of all, if it was me, I would run confusion and overwhelm. I would run hive mind, which is disconnecting me from all the energy around me. I would run the rose alignment and the nervous system alignment, and I would probably be good within 30 seconds. Another thing that we can do is just really working with our breath. So to calm ourselves down, we get in our head so much in this society, and I'm an air sign, I'm an Aquarius, and so I'm in my head a lot. And I've had to really condition myself to stay in my heart and to stay grounded, which is why when people tell me, oh, your energy is so calm and peaceful and grounded, it's one of the biggest compliments that somebody can give me, because I have really had to condition myself to be that way. That's something I've really worked on throughout the last decade or more. So anyway, back to the tip, placing your awareness on your heart and slowing your breath and breathing as if you can breathe from your heart. Sometimes if we're too anxious or the emotions are too high, that can be hard to get into our heart. So what we can also do is place our awareness on the center point of our body, which is also called the lower Dantian. So you can look up lower Dantian breathing. You can Google it or look it up wherever you search for things. But it's really about 3 fingers below the belly button. So I'll just stand up and show you. Let's see. Can't see myself. So you can see my sweatpants, it's about 3 fingers below the belly button and about 3, it's about like that, and about 3 inches in to the center of the body. And that's called the lower Dantian. And if you just breathe into that point, breathe into that center point of your body, that's going to pull all of your energy back in, because what happens is when we get frazzled, our energy scatters, especially if we're holding a lot of trauma. If we are holding trauma, especially trauma experienced when we were children, our immediate natural response to any stress is to leave our bodies. So if we can pull ourselves back into our bodies, that's going to help us stay present, help us stay grounded, help us to not feel chaotic and overwhelmed, because we get that chaotic, overwhelmed feeling when we scatter our energy, when we leave our body. So if we're pulling back in all of our energy, and you can bring in that intention as you're breathing, either into your heart or into your center point, and both are good. I like to breathe into my heart, but I know in the past I've had times where I couldn't settle myself enough to really connect in with my heart. So then that's where the lower Dantian comes in. And it's also a good practice just in general, for your health, for many different reasons, both of these. So again, breathing, slowing your breath, deepening your breath, bringing awareness to your breath, bringing in the intention to call your energy back in. And then just really sitting, a minute of this breath, either through your heart or through your center point, will calm you. It will calm your nervous system, especially the heart breath, because our heart, if we can breathe into our heart and even like bring in the energy of compassion or gratitude or peace, our heart is constantly in communication. Our hearts are sending signals to our nervous system and to our brain, more so than the other way around. So our heart is sending signals to our brain more than our brain is sending signals to our heart. So that's one reason why breathing through the heart and really getting centered into the heart can calm us down, because when we regulate our heart, when we come into that coherent state with our heart, it actually regulates our nervous system and it regulates our thoughts. And then eventually that's called brain-heart coherence. And if this is a heart math, what I'm talking about here is some of the research done by Heart Math Institute. So those are my 3 tips for all of you. If you're a Sacred Soul Alignment practitioner, or if you're considering the certification that starts next week, there are an infinite number of additional things that I would bring in there. And a lot of that is talked about in the class. There's tools that we can use to instantly clear our energy. Alignments, the flesh activation, the defrag, which all Sacred Soul Alignment practitioners coming through are going to get both of those tools, which are actually sacred light tools. So the flesh activation literally comes through and fleshes out your system of toxins, physical toxins, energetic toxins, toxic emotions, things that have come up from a healing that are kind of not fully resolved, that you want to just flesh out. Came through in a private session with a client several years ago for this very purpose. And then the defrag is sort of like the old defrag. I don't know if PCs still do this. I use a Mac, but when I used to use a PC, I would have to run the defrag tool on the hard drive. So the defrag is sort of like the same energy for our mental body, really kind of closing those mental loops that are still running around in our mental bodies, creating confusion and overwhelm, thoughts that are running rampant, old information that we don't need to be holding on to anymore, irrelevant information. And so many alignments that we can use to support ourselves as we navigate this time that we're in it as a human collective. We're navigating energies, I believe, that we have never experienced on the planet as a human collective. And we're going into energy, we're going into a state of being, we're going into the new earth, I believe, in a way that we have never experienced in this human collective, possibly similarly to the first soul experiences on this planet of Mu, Lemuria, Atlantis. But I believe it's even beyond that. I believe we are returning to that, but it's even beyond that. And so we don't have the blueprint of how to navigate that, which is a good thing, because that means that we can choose how to navigate it. And choosing the most aligned ways with so much information out there can be a little bit tricky. And so one thing that Sacred Soul Alignments do is they help you return to the truest version of yourself, so that you are able to navigate from that point, from that perspective, from that awareness. And then you can choose alignments to help support you within that. So if this is resonating with you and you're thinking about the certification class, we start next Thursday, and I'm getting hot. I can feel energy moving. I'm getting hot talking about this. My glasses are fogging up. Wow, just talking, I was transmitting a lot of energy there. And I didn't even run any alignments. I think they were coming in as I was talking about them, though. That happens a lot. Anyway, if you are feeling called to, having access to all of these incredible tools and being a part of a family, a soul family of the most supportive, most loving, kindest, most generous and beautiful souls that I know. I've certified over 500 people. There's 400 that are active, that are still in the group. I opened a new group to kind of refresh the modality about a year ago. So those are the people that are really involved. There's about 400, and I've certified over 500 people. And there's a lot of people that are not on Facebook anymore, but the Facebook group is about 400 people, and it's a very supportive, very loving place. And that's not even speaking about the tools that you'll receive. So you'll receive over 150 alignments and additional tools that you'll be receiving as well. The vortex of creation, the energetic release technique, you'll be receiving 4 sacred light tools in a bonus from Kim and I, and many other things, including a lot of healing that happens during this class. So if you are feeling called to this, you know it in your heart, you know it in your being, and this is your invitation to join us. We start next Thursday, and I'll put the link to the registration in the comments under this video, or you can go to sacredsoulalignment.com and click on certification to see all the details and register to join us. I have several payment plans, full pay, of course, and then 3-month, 6-month, and even 12-month payment plan. So you can join us for as little as $157 a month for the next 12 months. So if you have any questions about any of this, you can reach out to me in Messenger. We can set up a time to hop on a Zoom if you would like, or if you're on Voxer, you can look for me. And I sent out a link in the email to my Voxer. I think it's just Alicia Hartzell is my Voxer, I think. And you can send me a Voxer message, and we can chat back and forth in voice messages, or you can set up a time to hop on Zoom with me. I've got a couple of those calls after this. So thank you guys for joining me. Let me know if you use these tips. Let me know if these are helpful to you. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I will probably pop in tomorrow to do some Sunday clearing. That feels really supportive right now. And so much love to all of you. I will see you next time. Bye for now.